Well, as the leader pointed out, we've got a bipartisan bill in front of us that's been negotiated for some time by a number of members on both sides of the aisle. But for most of our members, the first time they've seen it was Sunday night, really Monday morning, and it's more than 2,700 pages long, which somebody has pointed out is twice the size of the Bible. And in typical highway bill debates that I've been associated with through the years, it takes about 3 weeks to move a highway reauthorization across the floor. And in those cases, you've had a lot of committee input. It's gone through regular order. You've had at least 3 committees that have vetted it, and a lot of the members of those committees have had opportunities to offer amendments. That hasn't been the case here. And so I would echo what the leader said about ensuring that we have a robust amendment process, that members on both sides who were not a part of that gang of 20 get a chance to have their voices heard in this process and stay away from any artificial deadlines. I think you ought to let this process and this play out. We're talking about a huge, huge amount of money here, over $1 trillion or around $1 trillion, depending on whose numbers you use. I understand, though, that the rush to get this done is so that Senator Schumer and the Democrats can then move to that $3.5 trillion tax and spending spree that they want to get on immediately after the bipartisan bill. And what's interesting about that really is that if you look at what the House of Representatives is saying, is they're saying, well, you can't move one without the other. So essentially Nancy Pelosi is saying, I'm going to hold hostage the bipartisan bill until I can get my $3.5 trillion reckless tax and spending spree bill voted on in the House of Representatives, which I think ironically is what makes the American people so cynical about Washington, D.C. You actually have a bipartisan process trying to produce a bipartisan result on an issue that's of great concern to the American people, infrastructure, and you've got the Speaker of the House of Representatives literally saying she's going to hold it hostage. She's going to hold the bipartisan bill hostage and take it prisoner until she gets the $3.5 trillion that they're going to do purely on a partisan basis around here, and I think that would be a really unfortunate outcome from the American people, and one that I hope they will avoid in the interest of doing the right thing by people in this country, and that is allowing these bills to be considered separately, independently, and not taking the highway bill hostage to the $3.5 trillion tax and spending spree bill that they're going to try and get to follow on right behind it.